What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at Saw 2, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, once again written by Lee Winnell with Darren Lee Bousman. Now, Saw 2 tells the story of Detective Eric Matthews, played by Donnie Wahlberg, who is on a hunt for the Jigsaw Killer because John Kramer kidnapped Detective Matthews' son. And Detective Matthews' son is trapped in a house with a handful of other people as they go through one of Jigsaw's tests. Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this review as short as I possibly can. I overall think Saw 2 is okay. I don't like Saw 2 as much as Saw 1. I think Saw 2, to be honest with you, on paper it sounded like an interesting movie, but to me it's okay. It's decent. I think the first one's a much stronger movie. To be honest with you, I think Saw 2 pretty much suffers from its subplot, which is the people in the house. I think that the whole subplot of them being stuck in the house is kind of my least favorite part of the movie, to be honest with you. To me personally, the scenes of Detective Matthews and John Kramer just having a discussion, to me, that's the best. Those are the best scenes of those two bouncing off one another. We really get more insight into John Kramer, and Tobin Bell really gets to sell the John Kramer character in this movie. And I think he gives a very nuanced and chilling performance as John Kramer. We get to know more of his motivations and things like that. While all the while, he also is subtly taunting Eric Matthews, who I thought was played pretty good by Donnie Wahlberg. Uh, by that same point, Matthews, he's kind of an asshole of a cop. You know, he's a cop that uses a lot of police brutality and will plant evidence in order to get what he wants. So he's kind of an asshole. And I thought Donnie Wahlberg, for the most part, played it really well. I think the supporting cast overall is done solidly. I thought everyone played their roles well. Shawnee Smith returns as the character of Amanda, and the character of Amanda gets further expanded upon, especially when you get to the end of the movie when it's revealed that she is pretty much Jigsaw's apprentice and is the heir apparent to Jigsaw's legacy, pretty much. And I thought Shawnee Smith all throughout this movie did a pretty good job, and she's actually one of the better characters of the people who are trapped inside of the house. She pretty much takes the leadership role since she already has experience in dealing with Jigsaw. Uh, she's pretty much when everything is said and done, she's pretty much there observing everyone since since pretty much her game since that's pretty much what since she's pretty much Jigsaw's apprentice. She's pretty much like an observer, though she's playing it as though she's just one of the victims. And again, I thought Shani Smith did a good job in the role. I thought she was fine. Uh, the character of Rig is in this movie as well, and Rig becomes important later on in the franchise. But he's in this movie mostly as a side character and then as a friend of Detective Matthews. I would have liked to have seen some scenes with Rig and Matthews to really sell their friendship. I don't think I got enough of that. There's this other character named Kerry who was in the first movie. She's in this movie as well. She didn't really do much in that first movie, but in this movie she has a lot more to do, and she also has a relationship with Eric as well. She's more or less the lead investigator and the one who knows a lot about the Jigsaw killings. So she's good from an insight perspective. The actor who played Detective Matthews' son Daniel, I thought was fine. He kind of develops a friendship with the character of Amanda when they're stuck in the house, who was pretty. And of course, this movie has a secondary antagonist of a character named Xavier, played by Frankie G, who is pretty much the second you meet him. He's the most unlikable guy in the entire house. He pretty much will sacrifice anyone and everyone. Of course, the most famous scene in this movie is the needle pit scene where he pushes Amanda into that pit, and just it's a really painful scene to watch. It's really gruesome. I mean, it's a good scene overall. I thought it was a really good scene. Uh, but of course, it's revealed that the basement from the first movie is actually connected to this house, as we see like the decomposed corpse of Zep and the decomposed corpse of Adam and things like that. So I like that connection to that first movie. So yeah, from a directorial standpoint, I thought Darren Lynn Bousman did an okay job. He tries to mimic the style of the first movie, and I thought he did okay for the most part. He's no James Wan. I thought James Wan's style was a little bit better, but I thought Lynn did a good job at replicating what James Wan did, but also putting his own little spin on it. It's a well shot movie. It has got decent cinematography. It's got a good solid cast, It's got a story that is okay for the most part. Like I said, even though I'm not a huge fan of the stuff that happens in the house, the kills are at least somewhat entertaining. And the cold open of the movie of this guy pretty much getting his face trapped in a Venus flytrap type of device was also pretty cool as well. It's also confirmed about the movie that that character is actually connected to the Matthews character as it happens to be his informant. So you got that going for you. But to me, the best parts of this movie are the scenes with Matthews and Jix and Kramer having their conversation while all the while, it's a race against time. And if Matthews would have just listened to John and just had a conversation for the amount of time they were supposed to, he would have had his son safe and secure. Because it's revealed that the entire movie pretty much took place in the past. The stuff that happened in the house, it's revealed that it happened 2 hours prior to Matthews capturing Kramer, and the entire time Matthews' son Daniel was legitimately locked inside of a safe with a breathing apparatus. But since Eric is a hot-headed cop, he kind of lets his own thing get to him, and he ends up getting trapped inside of the basement where Gordon and Adam were trapped in. So yeah, Detective Matthews pretty much becomes his own worst enemy and acts like a complete dum dum. So yeah, there's even though I don't mind Donnie Wahlberg in the role, Detective Matthews is a hot-headed dum dum who pretty much killed himself when you look at it. He pretty much signed his own fate by being a loose cannon numbskull. But all he had to do was just wait. So yeah, those are pretty much my overall thoughts on Saw 2. At the end of the day, I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's enjoyable. It's not as good as the first. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.